Hi, my name is FATIHAH and today I will introduce Sweezerts Enterprise. Sweezerts Enterprise is a small-scale online dessert business that focuses on producing and selling homemade dessert. The business is owned and managed by FATIHAH KHAIRIL AZHAR and officially commenced operation on 1st January 2036. The business operates with a slogan "Love at First Bite", which reflects its mission to provide customers with memorable, enjoyable dessert experience from the very first bite. The main products offer a Dubai chewy cookie and the cheese curd. These desserts are prepared using quality ingredients to ensure freshness, great taste, and customer satisfaction. Sweezerts Enterprise mainly use TikTok Shop as a sales platform. Next, I will explain to you guys about assignment protocol. Starting with a discussion with team members, we identify requirement of this report. We selected to create a self-simulation business for this report. This meeting includes searching and collecting information to select the business's name, nature of business, and what product to include in this report. For the next meeting, we make a draft of this report. We plan the structure, searching for more detail of the ingredients to make Dubai chewy cookie and cheese curd. After that, we make a list including all production costs and the job card format. Next week, we will have the consultation with Madam Mariam to confirm the format and the way we did it. Therefore, we take note of everything that is told to us. This process involves discussion, question, and answer within us. Following that, we complete every part and fix the part that Madam has told. We ensure the format used follow the rubric and request content and the review are consistent. Finally, for the last step, we combine all documents. After being satisfied with each other's works, we submit our work before the due dates. That's all for me. Next, I will give to my fellow friends to continue this presentation.
Hi, my name is INSYIRAH and now I will be presenting the product costing method for Sweezerts Enterprise. Sweezerts Enterprise uses the product costing method of job order costing. Job order costing is an accounting method used by businesses to track and calculate the exact cost of unique products or small batch production by tracing direct materials, direct labor, and manufacturing overhead to individual jobs instead of averaging costs across all production. For both Dubai Chewy Cookie and Cheese Curd, the job order costing method tracks the exact cost required to produce one container of Dubai Chewy Cookie and also one container for Cheese Curd. Based on a weekly production volume of 180 containers. Once the total cost per container has been determined using the job cost card, the business applies a markup of Rm 2 ringgit 92 for Dubai Chewy Cookie and for cheese coat a markup of Rm 2 ringgit 43 ringgits per container. For to find prime cost for Dubai Chewy Cookie, we must first make an assumption for Dubai Chewy Cookie. We assume a weekly production of 180 packs, working days per week of 6 days, working hours per day 3 hours 20 minutes, and we use the costing method, job order costing, and a pricing method we use markup pricing, and the currency is ringgit Malaysia RM. After making an assumption of product costing for Dubai Chewy Cookie, we must then look for direct materials calculation. For Dubai Chewy Cookie, we use the direct materials of butter, marshmallow, kunafa dough, cocoa powder, and pistachio sauce. And then we find the quantity of each of the direct materials and its cost per item. By adding in the total cost per item, we get the total of direct materials per one packs, which is 5 ringgit 66 cents. Moving on, we are counting the direct labor calculation for the worker pastry chef. Pastry chef his role is to prepare, measures, and mix and bake the Dubai Chewy cookie. So for pastry chef, the hours per batch is 40 minutes, and their rate per hour is 7 ringgit 50 cents, and cost per batch is divided with 5 packs, which is ringgit Malaysia. We get 5, and then cost per unit is 1. To calculate labor rate calculation, we must first take rate per hour and multiply it with hours per batch divided by 60, and then we will get 5 ringgit, which is the cost per batch. And then this 5 ringgits must be divided by 5 packs, which we will get 1 ringgit as the cost per unit for pastry chef. For Dubai Chewy Cookie, we do not have a direct expense. Thus, we will now look for the prime cost for Dubai Chewy Cookie, which is prime cost is equals to direct materials plus direct labor, and also plus direct expenses, but now we don't have direct expenses. So 5 ringgit 66 cents plus 1 ringgit, and we will get 6 ringgit and 66 cents for the prime cost for Dubai Chewy Cookie. So now let's also calculate the prime cost for cheese curd. So assuming the same for the cheese curd, we must first calculate direct material. So after identifying the ingredients, which is cream crackers biscuits, cream cheese, condensed milk, whipping cream, and full cream milk, we must look for the cost per item of each of the product and then total it up, and we will get 8 ringgit 87 cents. For direct labor calculations, we also use the same formula to calculate labor rate. So rate per hour times hours per batch divided by 60. So in this case, 7 ringgit 50 times 20 divided by 60 and equals to RM 2 ringgit 50, and then RM 2 ringgit 50 divided by 3 packs, and we will get 0.83 cents. Thus, the prime cost for cheese curd is 8 ringgit 87 plus 0.83 cents, and we will get RM 9 ringgit 70. Now, we must also make a production overhead for both of the products. So let's start with the production overhead of Dubai Chewy Cookie. First, let's calculate the indirect materials. So for indirect materials, we use packaging, which is 180 pieces of 150 ml food grade container, and labor, and also plastic spoon. We use the basis of number of units produced, and the cost is 30 cents. To get 30 cents, we must first estimate the price of packaging, which is RM 54 ringgit. So RM 54 ringgit, we divide by our packs, which is 180 packs, and we will get 30 cents. Now let's look at indirect expenses calculation. So first, we identify the assets, which is fridge depreciation, which costs us RM 2,500, and its useful life is 5 years, and annual depreciation is 500 ringgits. So for our indirect expenses, we identify fridge depreciation, electricity, water. And for each of the bases, we use book value for fridge depreciation, machine hours for electricity, and water for water consumption for water. So each cost per unit, we total it up, and we will get 70 cents. We also use the same method whereby we estimate the electricity per week, which is 72 ringgit 50 cents, and we estimate water per week 45 ringgit, and fridge depreciation, which is annual depreciation divided by 52 weeks, which is 52 weeks is in a year. So 500 divided by 52 weeks, we get 9 ringgit 62, and we divide with 180 packs, we get 5 cents. And we also do the same for electricity and water, whereby we just divide with 180 packs, and we get both 40 cents and 25 cents. Thus, the total production overhead for Dubai Chewy Cookie, we get indirect materials 30 cents, indirect expenses 70 cents, and the total is 1 ringgit. For manufacturing production costs for Dubai Chewy Cookie, for its prime cost, we will refer the above prime cost, which is 6 ringgit 66 cents, and the production overhead is 1. Thus, the total is 7 ringgit 66 cents. Now let's look for the non-manufacturing production overhead for Dubai Chewy Cookies. So for indirect labor, we have social media and customer service executive salary, and we use this a monthly salary as this basis. So the cost, 1,700, we divide it with 180 times 4 weeks, which is RM 2 ringgit 36 cents. For indirect expenses, we have marketing expense, and its basis is monthly marketing budget. So we use the same method. We get 200 divided by 180 times with 4 weeks, and we will get 28 cents. Thus, the total non-production overhead for Dubai Chewy Cookies indirect labor is 2 ringgit 36 cents, and indirect expenses 0.28 cents, and total is 2 ringgit 64 cents. And for non-manufacturing, we get the prime cost, production overhead, and also non-production overhead. Total it up, we will get 10 ringgit 30 cents. Now, let's take a look at the production overhead of cheese goods. We must first identify the indirect materials for calculations. This is for manufacturing production overhead for cheese good. So, indirect materials for packaging, which is RM 72 ringgit, we divided it by 180 packs, and we will get 40 cents for its cost. And not to forget, we use number of units produced as its basis for packaging. For vanilla essence, we use the basis of quantity used, milliliters, and we get RM 30 divided by 180 packs. So we will get 17 cents, and total it up, you will get 0.57 cents for indirect materials for cheese good. Next, identify the indirect expenses calculations. So, fridge depreciation 2,500 as cost, useful life is 5, annual depreciation is 500, and its indirect expenses, we use the same basis and cost per unit. This time is 5 cents for fridge depreciation, electricity 40 cents, and water 25 cents. With the same method, whereby we estimate electricity per week is 72 ringgit 0.50 divided by 180, and that's where we get 40 cents, and thus it applies to all other expenses. So when we total it up, we get 70 cents. So total production overhead for Chisco is 1.227 ringgit, and manufacturing production cost for Chisco, we get 10 ringgit 97. And now we will look at the non-manufacturing production overhead for Chisco. So indirect labor calculation for social media and customer service executive salary, we use monthly basis as monthly salary for its basis. So its cost 1,700. We divide with 180 times 4 weeks, which we will get 2 ringgit 36 cents. For indirect expense, we use marketing expense. So its basis is monthly marketing budget, and the cost 200 divided with 180 times 4 weeks, and we will get 28 cents. So total non-production overhead for cheese good, I will explain it in the next slide. So total non-production overhead for cheese good, we have indirect labor 2 ringgit 36 cents, and indirect expenses 28 cents, and total it up is 2 ringgit 64 cents. And non-manufacturing production cost for cheese good, prime cost, um, prime cost add up production overhead and non-production overhead, we will get 13 ringgit 61 cents for its non-manufacturing production cost for cheese good. Now let's compute the profit for Dubai Chewy Cookie and Cheese Good. So the formula is profit markup equals to selling price minus total cost and divided with total cost times 100. So the selling price for Dubai Chewy Cookie is 13 ringgit minus 10 ringgit 30 cents, and we divide 10 ringgit 30 cents and then times with 100, we will get 26.21%. We do it the same with the cheese good, and so for the cheese good, selling price is 16. So 16 minus the total cost 13 ringgit 61 cents, and divided with 13 ringgit 61 cents, and then we times with 100, we will get 17.56 cents. And that is all from me. So let's move on to the next presenter.
Moving on to the job cost card, our first product is Dubai Chewy Cookie. This cost card is built around our weekly production cycle where we cater to 180 packs. This breaks down into 36 batches total, with each individual batch serving 5 packs. Starting off with direct costs, first we look at direct materials, which includes high quality ingredients like butter, marshmallow, kunafa dough, cocoa powder, and our premium pistachio sauce. To get the total cost for each of these ingredients, we simply took the specific cost per unit and multiplied it by our weekly target of 180 packs. This gives us a total direct material cost of 1,018 ringgit and 80 cents. Next up is direct labor. Our pastry chef is paid at a wage rate of 7 ringgit 50 cents per hour. Since each batch takes about 40 minutes to prepare, running 36 batches a week means our chef works exactly 24 hours a week. Multiplying 24 hours by the 7 ringgit 50 cents per hour gives us a total direct labor cost of 180 ringgit. Combining both the direct materials and direct labor, we arrive at a prime cost of 1,198 ringgit and 80 cents. Moving on, let's look at our manufacturing or production overheads. Just like our direct materials, the numbers here are scaled up based on our weekly production of 180 packs. For indirect materials, we look at our packaging, which includes 180 pieces of food-grade containers, labels, and plastic spoons, coming out to 54 ringgit. For indirect expenses, we account for factory-level overheads like fridge depreciation, electricity, and water, totaling 127 ringgit 12 cents. Bringing these two together, our total manufacturing overhead comes out to 181 ringgit and 12 cents. Lastly, our non-manufacturing overheads. Under indirect labor, we have our social media and customer service executives' weekly salary allocation at 424 ringgit and 80 cents. We also allocate a weekly marketing expense under indirect expenses of 50 ringgit. This brings our total non-manufacturing overhead to 474 ringgit and 80 cents. Summing up, prime costs, manufacturing overheads, and non-manufacturing overheads, we get our grand total cost per week, which comes to 1,854 ringgit and 72 cents. To find out how much a single unit costs us to produce, we take that weekly total and divide it by our 180 packs. This gives us a total cost per container of 10 ringgit and 30 cents. Finally, to ensure profitability, we apply a markup of 26.21%, which adds 2 ringgit 70 cents to our base cost. This brings our final official selling price to 13 ringgit per container. Next is our second product, Cheese Good. Just like our first product, this job cost card shows our weekly production run of 180 packs. However, because of how this dessert is prepared, it is divided into 60 batches per week, with each batch yielding 3 portions. Firstly, the direct costs. Starting with direct materials, we calculate our weekly requirements for cream cracker biscuits, cream cheese, condensed milk, whipping cream, and full cream milk. To find these totals, we again multiply the cost per unit by our total volume of 180 packs, bringing our total direct materials to 1,596 ringgit and 60 cents. Then for direct labor, our pastry chef works at the same rate of 7 ringgit 50 cents per hour. Because Cheese Good takes about 20 minutes to prepare per batch, running 60 batches a week equates to exactly 20 hours of labor across our 6-day work week. Multiplying 20 hours by 7 ringgit 50 cents gives us a total direct labor cost of 150 ringgit. Combining them will have our prime cost of 1,746 ringgit 60 cents. Moving on to our manufacturing overheads, under indirect materials, we account for our packaging consisting of 180 pieces of 350 ml food grade containers, labels, and plastic spoons, costing RM72. We also include vanilla essence at RM30, bringing our total indirect materials to 102 ringgit. For indirect expenses, factory level utilities like fridge depreciation, electricity, and water remain consistent with our shared infrastructure at 127 ringgit 12 cents. This brings our total manufacturing or production overhead costs to 229 ringgit 12 cents. Looking at our non-manufacturing overheads, everything remained fixed. Our social media and customer service executives' weekly salary at 424 ringgit and 80 cents. Combined with our standard weekly marketing expense of RM50, our total non-manufacturing overhead comes out to 474 ringgit 80 cents. Summing up everything, our final total cost per week for Cheese Good is 2,450 and 52 cents. Dividing the total cost per week by 180 packs, we get the total cost per container of 13 ringgit 61 cents. Then we apply a markup of 17.56%, which adds 2 ringgit 39 cents to our base production cost. At last, we get the selling price at RM16 per container.
Hi, my name is SYAZRIANAHEERA, and now we are going to discuss on recommendations for improving the business. So our first recommendation is to strengthen cost control by identifying areas of wastage, inefficiency, and unnecessary spending. Since the business spends a large portion of its budget on raw materials such as butter, biscuits, cream cheese, milk, and packaging, reducing unnecessary costs can help improve resource allocation and overall profitability. For our second recommendation, it is to encourage customers to place pre-orders before production begins. Producing based on confirmed orders can reduce excess inventory, minimize food waste, ensure ingredients are used efficiently, lower storage costs, and improve cash flow. Finally, to conclude, the job order costing method has helped Sweezerts Enterprise accurately calculate the production cost of its two main dessert products by identifying the right materials, the right labor, and manufacturing overhead costs. This allows the business to set competitive selling prices while still achieving its targeted profit margin. Overall, proper job costing enables the business to make better pricing decisions, monitor production costs effectively, and maintain profitability without compromising product quality. In the long run, an effective job costing system supports better financial planning, stronger cost control, and the sustainable growth of Sweezerts Enterprise. Thank you. That concludes our presentation.